Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. We are talking all things Europa League final here as both Manchester United and Villareal prepare for their final game of the season, in which the Europa League trophy is of course up for grabs. We will be previewing the game here, talking about both sides and how the game may indeed pan out across the 90 minutes, plus maybe extra time and maybe penalties if both of them things are required. And I'll also give my prediction on how I think the game will go as well. But before we go any further, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. But for now, let's get back to talking about the Europa League final between Manchester United and Villareal. The final will be taking place on Wednesday night between United and Villareal, and it will be taking place in Gdansk, Poland. It's a match where United, you feel, may go into it as heavy favourites, and that's no disrespect to Villareal when I say that. It's just that given the money aspect of United, given the quality that United team possesses in comparison to what the Yellow Submarine offers, this should be the first piece of silverware that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wins as United manager, and the first piece of silverware that United have won in 4 years, where coincidentally this was the same competition that they last won back in 2017, their last trophy that they have acquired since. But in saying that, don't take anything away and don't completely rule out Villareal right off the bat. After all, anything can happen across 90 minutes of football. We know that. We've all experienced it in some ways or another. We all know that anything is possible within a game of football. And if they're on it, if they're on form, and for whatever reason United aren't, then they could truly upset the Red Devils here. Remember, Unai Emery may have been a bit of a banter manager at Arsenal, with rival fans mocking him at every turn, but before he arrived at the Gunners, he did actually make a name for himself by winning this very competition 3 times in a row with a fellow Spanish side in Sevilla. So he's no stranger to success in this competition and knows how to get the job done. There may be more riding on this game in terms of pressure from a United standpoint, but for Villareal, this is arguably their biggest game in the history of the club. And of course, both teams would love to add this trophy to their trophy cabinets, of course, but there's also an extra incentive in play here for the Spanish side. And that may make this game mean even more than what is already seemingly riding on it. Because a win here for Villareal could see them qualify into next season's Champions League, should of course they win it. United are already there, of course, and as things stand right now, Villareal will be playing in UEFA's brand new competition they're calling the Europa Conference League. Europa Conference League. I mean, that's just something to talk about on another day. That it's whatever that is. So looking at it from that angle, there seems to be a slightly bigger incentive for Villareal in this fixture. Of course, we all know about United's key players, the likes of Bruno Fernandes, who has scored 28 goals and assisted 17 times in all competitions this season within 57 appearances, along with the likes of Paul Pogba, Marcus Rashford and Edinson Cavani, just to name a few, and so on and so forth. I'm sure they will all play their part on Wednesday night in an attempt to lead United to glory in this competition. The United team, I think, pretty much picks itself, with the only question mark being over the goalkeeping situation. Does Solskjaer go with the more experienced David De Gea, or will he opt instead to pick Dean Henderson in his place? That remains a bit of a toss of a coin there as to which way that will go. There will be no club captain in Harry Maguire. He's still recovering from injury. But apart from that, there doesn't seem to be any new or fresh injury concerns for Solskjaer to worry over. And you'd kind of expect that the kind of team he'd go for would include Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back, Luke Shaw left back, Eric Bailly and Victor Lindelof in the heart of the defence, Scott McTominay and Fred in the centre of defensive midfield positions, with Pogba, Rashford Fernandes and Cavani making up the remainder of the starting 11 come Wednesday night. As for Villareal, they opt to play a bit more of a classic 4-4-2 formation, a formation that you don't really get to see a lot of in football these days. There's always some kind of variation to that. They tend to play a classic 4-4-2, a heavily traditional formation, a bit of a throwback formation, but they play that nonetheless, as their danger men include the two up front in Paco Alcacer and Gerard Moreno, with the latter bagging 29 goals in 45 appearances in all competitions for the Spanish side this season. Behind them, though, you've got the creative and set-piece specialist in Dani Parejo, and a man who can play on either wing in the form of Manu Trigueros, who proved to be a bit of a thorn in the side of Arsenal in the previous round of this competition. This is a Villareal side that has got a wealth of experience, particularly in the defensive areas, so we can kind of expect the usual tactics deployed by the Spanish sides in order to attempt to slow the pace down a bit and buy cheap free kicks. It's key for United that they don't get drawn into these kind of underhand tactics, and they don't play into the hands of their Spanish opponents, and they keep their cool, they keep their concentration throughout the entirety of the game. Now, as far as how the game will pan out, you kind of expect United to receive a lot of the ball here. I'm sure that Villareal won't mind too much in giving up possession to United and attempting to hit the Red Devils on the counter-attack, attempting to use their wingers and their fullbacks in order to stretch the play and, of course, aid their counter-attacking style. We saw in the previous round that Villareal didn't mind sitting in deep against Arsenal, soaking up the pressure and making it difficult for the Gunners to try and break them down. But in wide positions, the Spanish side did look quite vulnerable, and I'm sure that that will be an area where United will look to exploit further as a weakness for them to get right at their Spanish opponents. For United, they'll need to move the ball quickly. They'll need to get it into the likes of Pogba and Fernandes at every opportunity, who have got the potential and, of course, the ability to break down even the most stubborn of defences. And then, of course, when the chances present themselves, they'll need to have their shooting boots on and take those opportunities when they are presented with them. All whilst remaining alert and switched on defensively, because as we've seen on a number of occasions this season, including in the Champions League, where of course United's European campaign began, United do have a tendency to switch off at the back in certain games. But arguably here, with all due respect, United should be winning this game and lifting the trophy when the dust has settled. So prediction time, and as much as I want to say that I see Villareal winning this game and I want them to win and beat United for obvious reasons, I unfortunately just can't see it happening. I just can't. Like I say, United go into this game as big favourites and have the players and the quality in order to lift the trophy come the end of the game. But in saying that, if United don't, that's got to be big. That is going to be big if Villareal somehow manage to overcome United. Of course, like I say, don't rule out Villareal by any means, but at the same time, United should be winning this game, and there can be no excuses this time around. United have to win this game. They have to win this competition. They have to beat Villareal here. If they don't, regardless of what goes on in the game, there can be no reasoning, there can be no excuses for United not to have won this game, and why they weren't successful in obtaining the trophy and securing that in Gdansk. United should be winning this game, but if they don't, then I personally think some serious questions are going to need to be answered by Solskjaer, by United, because failure to pick up this trophy would be completely unacceptable given how things have panned out. However, I don't think it will come to that. As much as it would amuse me and as much as I would love for Villareal to go on and beat United, I'm sticking with my prediction that United will win here, and I'm going to predict a 3-1 United victory with the likes of Edison Cavani and Bruno Fernandes among the goals for the Red Devils. But as I always say, these are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of this final? Who do you see winning? Will it be the labelled favourites of Manchester United going on to secure what should be another European trophy? Or will Villareal stun United and Unai Emery get the last laugh over Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and be victorious in this final yet again for another European Cup triumph? Let me know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, whatever you want to call it, down below in the comment section. I'm sure they'll all make for interesting reading. Otherwise, hit that like button on the way if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video. And I will see and speak with you all again soon in another video.